The internet is in utter shock with tonight's shocking DNA results that nobody anticipated in the ongoing love and hip-hop controversy. The most talked about names right now are Mendeecees, Jasmine, and Yandy, and fans are shocked by this most recent development. There are rumors on the internet that DNA research has confirmed something that might dramatically change people's lives. But before we go any further, let's be clear. We are only talking about what people are saying on the internet. Social media is already blazing with rumors, despite the fact that nothing has been verified. What started off as rumors on gossip websites quickly turned into total chaos. Fan pages are examining every video, every previous post, and every enigmatic comment made by Jasmine in an effort to piece together the facts, implying that the DNA evidence may at last show who has been telling the truth all along. Tasha K even cut the conversation short. Meanwhile, Yandy and Mendeecees supporters are refusing to back down, claiming that the couple deserves tranquility because they have already been subjected to too much public attention. But the problem still exists. If the DNA findings confirm the assertions made, how will this change their relationship? Keep an eye out, since this is just the beginning. The days that followed Tasha K's hint about the DNA results were unlike anything the love and hip-hop world had ever seen. Fans flooded social media with suggestions and hints about what might have been disclosed. Jasmine's silence just made the tempest worse, and Mendeecees' attempts to appear composed did little to halt the mayhem. According to a number of online rumors, the DNA results confirmed a shocking fact that could change fans' opinions on Jasmine and seriously damage her relationship with Yandy and Mendeecees. There was always speculation. Every comment on Yandy's most recent postings, every photo uploaded by Mendeecees, and every unclear statement made by Jasmine were all scrutinized frame by frame. A hint may be as simple as a sidelong glance in a live broadcast or an enigmatic emoji in a story. Yandy's close friends reportedly noticed a change in her behavior almost instantly. She ceased to share her instead of posting the usual uplifting comments on social media. They used subtly gloomy language that hinted at psychological strife. Fans immediately began drawing parallels, speculating that she had somehow learnt the truth behind the scenes. Meanwhile, Jasmine's fans noticed that she had become incredibly silent, rarely chatting online and avoiding public appearances. Her absence simply served to fuel rumors, albeit it was unclear why. She was reportedly spotted entering a medical facility late at night, according to bloggers, which caused an ongoing dispute. Mendeecees appeared more quiet than usual, as they frequently maintained a delicate balance between their private and public lives. His smiles looked forced in photographs, and his eyes were clouded by stress. Before the purported DNA results were made public, he might have been attempting to sway the story. Insiders claim that fans weren't buying it because they weren't having long conversations with friends and family. Every short film was examined for indications of fear or regret. There was a noticeable shift in the atmosphere surrounding his social media profiles, even for casual observers. As the tension mounted, Tasha K returned to live streaming, giving more hints that the DNA evidence was more explosive than anyone had predicted. She hinted that there was more to Jasmine's reality than a secret romance. Instead, it involved decisions that had far-reaching consequences, timing, and accountability. In a serious, even mournful tone, she described what she described as emotional exchanges between the main participants. She said that the communication she observed showed signs of confusion, regret, and fear of being judged. The remarks were eagerly anticipated by fans, who saw them as evidence that the alleged scandal would actually involve a pregnancy and paternity concerns. Myths spread like wildfire. One post claims that Jasmine informed a close friend about the alleged DNA results before anyone else did. This acquaintance apparently gave cryptic information to other insiders, which led to speculation. Comments on fan pages frequently used phrases like "Yandy deserves the truth" and "Mendeecees can't hide anything," which were motivated by a mixture of curiosity and outrage. The couple continued to pique the public's interest. While some asked for transparency, others defended them, arguing that rumors and the media regularly exaggerated occurrences. Insiders claim that Mendeecees and Yandy had intense and emotional private conversations in the home. There was reportedly a great deal of tension, queries that went unanswered, and purposeful quiet. Close friends claimed that Yandy was struggling to strike a balance between her love for Mendeecees and the possibility of treachery, despite her reputation for composure. In private conversations, she also looked clearly shaken. Mendeecees tried to explain what had actually happened, but even the family apparently found it difficult to tell fact from fiction. The usual comfort of their house seemed to give way to uncertainty. Tears were shed, and emotions were running high. More than simply conjecture was done by fans. They searched through past episodes of Hip Hop and Love, revisiting conversations between Jasmine and Mendeecees in an attempt to locate any proof that would bolster the latest accusations. Suddenly, seemingly commonplace moments were scrutinized. A casual gaze, a short touch, or an off-camera giggle took on a new, potentially scandalous importance. Critics on social media began posting timelines, side-by-side comparisons, and edited films that suggested Mendeecees and Jasmine were closer than previously thought. There was conflict outside of personal groups as well. Production crews were reportedly caught off guard by the sudden increase in attention. The producers of the show were allegedly debating whether to include the latest rumors in upcoming episodes, balancing the need for drama to increase reality TV ratings against the ethical dilemma of exploiting private issues. Insiders claim that following attempts to get comments from the three were either turned down or greeted with evasive guarantees. Every minor public appearance and every online story has the potential to generate headlines due to the uncertainty. Amid all of this, Tasha K continued to hint at further discoveries. She hinted that fans had never considered the depths of emotion, secrecy, and decision-making exposed by the DNA evidence. When she clarified that it was only a part of the narrative, viewers continued to speculate about what the actual results might reveal. Did it answer a paternity mystery? Was it a matter of timing, motives, or miscommunication? Social media was alive with debates, theories, and predictions as fans looked for hidden significance in even the smallest hints. Sources claim that Yandy's friends were quietly trying to protect her, offering support and helping her navigate the difficult landscape of public scrutiny. One account claims that Yandy confided in a close friend, expressing anger and disappointment as well as not knowing how to confront Mendeecees. Supporters seized onto this tale immediately, interpreting it as proof that the alleged scandal had grave personal consequences. But Jasmine's reserved and quiet manner further strengthened the notion that there was more going on behind the scenes than had been shown to the public. The stakes were higher than ever. Sentimental family members reportedly struggled with loyalty and the want to have the truth revealed, while some backed Mendeecees' position since they believed he had previously been severely damaged by rumors. Others agreed with Yandy, emphasizing loyalty and trust. Despite the fact that Tasha K's claims were unveiled, they acted as a catalyst, transforming a potentially private dispute into a significant public spectacle. The complexity of the situation became apparent as social media conversations continued. Due to the abundance of reaction videos and memes, the story continued to gain popularity as people debated timing, morality, and reasons. When YouTube channels released assessments that dissected potential time periods and emotional encounters, interest increased. What may have been a personal drama was transformed into a national conversation by the internet, where every comment, theory, and post increased the stress. The human drama unfolding in front of them grabbed. It was said that Mendeecees and Yandy's group had meticulous, careful conversations. Knowing that any error could result in more public rumors, friends and family attempted to handle the situation carefully. According to insiders, there was a significant emotional cost as both parties balanced their personal feelings with a public that was looking for answers. The plot had developed to the point that minor facts were considered important revelations. Admirers looked for hidden significance in every image, live broadcast, and story. Discussion boards on the internet became battlegrounds, with some individuals endorsing the couple and others questioning their every move. Every day, the plot became more intricate, and the suspense never subsided. As the alleged DNA results continued to dominate the debate, it became clear that the emotional ramifications went beyond those immediately engaged. Fans felt as though they were a part of the unfolding drama, were engaged, developing concepts and sharing theories. Thanks to the internet, what began as a private disagreement became a huge topic that attracted attention and dominated conversations on multiple platforms. Even in the absence of confirmation, the alleged revelations had an impact on behavior. Examination of Yandy and Mendeecees' conversations in real time. Constant conjecture brought up by Jasmine's absence and Tasha K's remarks created a constant undercurrent of tension. Followers were left wondering what would happen next as each tiny gesture, communication, and online reaction contributed to a narrative that seemed intimate and combustible. The atmosphere was charged. Social media became the drama's stage and microscope, as feelings were running high and it became difficult to distinguish between reality and perception. The family, the circle itself, was under tremendous pressure to deal with a situation made worse by rumors, the weight of public scrutiny, and alleged facts, while supporters were appalled, divided, and fixated. The audience was primed for what many perceived to be a pivotal moment in the narrative by this flurry of speculation, anxiety, and passion. The alleged DNA results, whether real or fake, acted as a catalyst, exposing flaws, starting conversations, and putting Jasmine, Mendeecees, and Yandy's relationships to the test. The story had developed into an enticing public demonstration of passion, commitment, and intrigue that went beyond simple rumors. The effects of the alleged DNA releases continued to affect Yandy, Mendeecees, and Jasmine. Insiders claimed that every interaction in the family was filled with unanswered issues, making mornings unpleasant. Friends reported that Yandy appeared reflective and often gazed off into space as if practicing a speech or reflecting on the past. There was a general sense of unease, and even cordial conversations appeared to carry the potential for confrontation. Nonetheless, a few close observers saw the exhaustion in his movements and the tightness behind his eyes. The public's interest in the pair only increased as they resolved these personal issues. Despite Mendeecees' purported oscillation between defensiveness and attempts at composed explanation, fan pages and discussion threads were full of opinions, rumors, and conjecture. Some argued that the DNA results confirmed the long-rumored pregnancy, while others maintained that the problem had been overstated. The extensive proliferation of memes depicting dramatic reactions, timelines of said covert encounters, and side-by-side comparisons of prior conversations fueled the fanbase's insatiable curiosity. Every social media post the three of them made became a potential clue, and rumors went viral. Insiders claimed that Mendeecees and Yandy's conversations had grown more assertive. There were reportedly intense arguments punctuated by brief moments of reconciliation or acknowledging guilt. Yandy reportedly asked questions that were challenging to fully answer without full disclosure, openly expressing her feelings of confusion and betrayal. Mendeecees reportedly had to balance safeguarding Yandy's privacy with trying to reassure him, creating a vicious cycle of conflict that seemed to worsen daily. The role of Jasmine in the drama was still unclear what was developing. Insiders claimed that she was choosing to remain silent, while being aware of the public interest while juggling a sense of resolve and anxiety. Rumors are only fueled by her sporadic public appearances and scant social media activity. Some viewers saw subtle signs of strain or introspection in her few films, which they took to mean that she was dealing with the aftermath from the alleged DNA releases. Every move, glance, and omission seemed significant, adding to an increasingly complex narrative. Additionally, fans began speculating about potential familial involvement. Both Mendeecees and Yandy's families reportedly became embroiled in the conflict, attempting to resolve conflicts, offer counsel, or simply observe the dynamics as they evolved. Online comments often focused on apparent allegiances, asked who might be influencing whom, and looked at extended family members' reactions. The immediate three were not the only ones affected by the conflict. Admirers looked for clues or proof of rumors in the network of ties. As the alleged reality dominated conversations, Tasha K remained a key character in the narrative. She reportedly hinted at more details, suggesting that the DNA results were only one part of a larger web of decisions and secrets. Throughout her live performances, fans eagerly analyzed and shared her cryptic comments about loyalty, responsibility, and the consequences of secret acts on various platforms. Discussions were rekindled each time Tasha K posted a new comment, advancing the story and increasing public interest. It appears that the emotional toll of the alleged revelations affected day-to-day home activity. Yandy is reportedly more circumspect in her interactions, carefully choosing her words and managing her emotions. Despite their best efforts to show a cool demeanor, Mendeecees appeared to exhibit indications of anxiety, regularly pausing before answering inquiries or completely avoiding talks. The atmosphere in the house was described as a mix of cautious civility and underlying uneasiness, and all parties were conscious of the public and private stakes. It was evident to outside observers that fan reactions were influencing the story just as much as the acts of the main character. Online communities examined past deeds and potential future consequences, while reaction videos and commentary channels talked about time, ethics, and motivations. Each of the three individuals' posts or videos generated speculation, with theories ranging from potential reconciliation to irreversible repercussions. Fans showed that they were more than simply spectators by crafting a story that often matched the complexity of the alleged occurrences. According to insiders, emotions occasionally erupted into brief but intense verbal altercations. Mendeecees attempted to clarify, but were met with a mix of suspicion and tentative acceptance. Yandy, meanwhile, was said to have shown both anger and hurt. Silent moments, contemplative glances, and emotional pauses were interwoven throughout these discussions, creating an atmosphere where the importance of the alleged DNA results affected every talk. Fans kept speculating about what was truly spoken and the emotions of each person during those moments. Social media observers noticed a shift in the way followers reacted to the situation. Because they had only access to tidbits from leaks or social media, discussion threads expanded as the days passed, more analytical, with body language interpretations, timelines, and purpose speculation taking front stage. Every little update from Yandy Mendeecees or Jasmine set off a chain reaction of debates, theories, and responses. The alleged DNA leak had grown into a more comprehensive statement on relationships, trust, and accountability, captivating the audience in ways that went beyond typical celebrity rumors. Insiders claimed that family members were attempting to mediate and give guidance during the ongoing private conversations. Yandy reportedly sought clarification and explanation to help her make sense of her conflicting feelings of love and disappointment. Mendeecees faced the dual challenge of the emotional and social ramifications from the alleged discoveries continued to influence behavior, encounters, and public opinion. According to observers, Yandy's cautious demeanor, Jasmine's measured caution, and Mendeecees' attempts at poise all combined to create a story that fans debated, discussed, and analyzed constantly. Whether or not the alleged DNA results were eventually confirmed, they set off a drama that seemed to permeate both private and public life. Every new event was dramatized, scrutinized, and speculated upon due to Tasha K's continuous commentary and the fans' unwavering attention. The drama that emerged from the interaction of public emotions, emotional stakes, and familial relationships was widely covered and deeply personal. Every subtle gesture, cautious comment, and quiet moment acted as a building block for a story that piqued the audience's curiosity, provoked debate, and left them yearning for a resolution. Mendeecees, Yandy, and Jasmine were all under a lot of stress. Insiders claimed that the emotional landscape was rife with uncertainty, trust issues, and the challenge of striking a balance between one's own feelings and public scrutiny. Every day, new theories, analyses, and interpretations surfaced, intensifying the situation. Social media transformed the alleged DNA results into a spectacle that impacted fan participation, public opinion, and interpersonal relationships, making the tale both immediate and comprehensive. As the alleged disclosures continued to dominate headlines and online conversations, the stakes for relational and personal integrity remained high. With excitement, fans attempted to piece together the larger picture that each post, look, and dialogue helped. Tasha K's commentary, media attention, and personal emotions combined to create a dynamic, unpredictable, and highly intriguing scenario that piqued curiosity and fueled ongoing speculation. Even though the purported DNA revelation was never confirmed, it had already altered people's perspectives, influenced their actions, and started a convoluted series of events. A tale that addressed more profound questions of trust and went beyond simple rumors, emotion, speculation, and public scrutiny interacted to produce transparency and the impact of perceived truths on relationships. Throughout it all, fans remained engaged, dissecting every aspect, guessing on reasons, and debating potential outcomes. A story full of suspense, mystery, and dramatic possibilities was created by the blending of private emotions and public speculation. There was more to the alleged DNA results than just a bombshell. They provided the catalyst for an ongoing inquiry on loyalty, perspective, and how people respond to unexpected information. The tension in the house appeared to reach new heights as the days passed. Insiders described mornings of introspection, awkward silences, and revealing satires as each conversation between Mendeecees and Yandy became more guarded and full of unanswered questions. Reports state that Yandy frequently appeared distant, distracted, and emotionally exhausted from absorbing what fans perceived as the shocking truth about Jasmine. Mendeecees apparently found it difficult to remain composed in front of Yandy and handled the increasing public attention while he worked through the complexity of his own emotions. Social media continued to play a significant role in the drama's escalation. On fan pages, discussion threads, and comment channels, there was no shortage of ideas, timeframes, and speculation. Some said that the DNA was being sensationalized for clicks and views, while others, the long-rumored pregnancy was confirmed by the results. Due to the extensive distribution of memes, reaction videos, and side-by-side comparisons of earlier incidents, the story was continuously evolving. Every post Jasmine, Mendeecees, or Yandy made became a potential clue, and fans scrutinized them constantly for signs of truth or dishonesty. Insiders claim that the three had harsh and furious private conversations. Reports state that Yandy confronted Mendeecees about the matter, her voice trembling with a mix of hurt and resolve. Disparities and unsolved issues. She apparently stared into his eyes and said, "I need to understand what's really going on." Mendeecees was described as having a dilemma between sharing information and protecting privacy, which resulted in attempts at assurance and defensive outbursts. Reports state that the atmosphere was intense, leaving both participants worn out but motivated to continue the discussion. Jasmine's role in the unfolding scenario was the subject of much speculation. Insiders claimed that she was aware of the media attention and tried to control it by providing little information and allowing rumors to spread. In her intermittent, often cryptic, and emotionally complex social media posts, fans searched for hidden meanings. Small gestures in her recordings were seen by some as anxiousness, but by others as intentional attempts to remain silent in the face of growing scrutiny. The ongoing excitement and speculation about the alleged DNA results increased with each little step. Family interactions were reportedly impacted by the alleged disclosures as well. Family members on both sides reportedly took part in private discussions, offering counsel, resolving conflicts, or simply monitoring the emotional stress. Perceived affiliations, family reactions, and the potential influence of family members on decision-making were frequently discussed in online comments. These connections added dimension to the unfolding drama, making it appear even more difficult for the three major characters to manage. Tasha K's influence on the narrative was undeniable. Viewers were captivated by her insight, which often blended speculation with morsels of intimate knowledge, intensified their feelings. She reportedly implied that the DNA results were just one part of a larger story, and that further details could come to light at any time. In order to maintain the subject at the forefront of reality TV discussions and to further pique public interest, fans eagerly consumed and shared her content, analyzing every word, tone, and suggestion. Tensions were reportedly high as Mendeecees and Yandy attempted to settle the problem collectively. Pauses, contemplative glances, and well-chosen comments were common in conversations, underscoring the difficulty of striking a balance between one's own feelings and public scrutiny. Insiders claim that these exchanges were emotionally taxing and filled with raw moments that the public hardly ever saw. Fans speculated constantly about the details, the intentions, and the outcomes of these conversations. After becoming aware of them and going through leaks or social media posts, the public's control over the story continued to expand. Fan engagement evolved from simple speculation to detailed analysis that included body language analysis, timeframes, and motivation hypothesis. Every social media post sparked discussions among viewers about potential outcomes, ethical conundrums, and the authenticity of the alleged DNA revelations. The drama included an online community that was eager to understand the narrative. The daily rituals of Mendeecees and Yandy, as well as Jasmine's inner group, were allegedly an expression of personal disputes. Yandy was described in her interactions as being circumspect and mindful of her emotional responses. Despite their best efforts to maintain a calm facade, Mendeecees appeared to exhibit minor signs of stress, such as stopping before responding or avoiding certain topics. Jasmine, who spoke very little, experienced a mix of worry and resolve because she was aware that the media and her admirers were attentively observing everything she did. The mix of media attention and personal worry created a delicate, hypershare situation for all those involved. The alleged DNA discovery became clear. Conflicts were sometimes unavoidable. According to insiders, despite their briefness, the verbal fights were intense and intensely emotional. Yandy allegedly voiced her feelings, including feelings of betrayal and loss, while Mendeecees' attempts at explanation were often met with suspicion. The pauses, reflective glances, and silent intervals between conversations heightened the tension and emphasized the difficulty of managing such emotionally charged encounters.